People, stop everything. New images of 3I, Atlas, have just dropped, and they rewrite the entire playing field. Yes, completely. What you're about to hear is a sequence of evidence that destroys the simplest explanation. It's just another comet. It isn't. It never was. Between November 16 and 17, 2025, observers from Canada's NEOSat, amateurs in New Mexico, and telescopes in Puerto Rico all captured the same stunning truth. Atlas is still intact, and its jet activity does not behave like any known cometary physics. Here's the hook. Multiple images show a forward-facing jet with a reddish glow, while traditional jets shoot backward at the same time. How can a natural object produce different colors and opposite-facing jets yet remain structurally whole when these forces should have ripped it apart? The answers, or rather the questions, are much bigger than anyone expected. Let's stay grounded. The past week's images repeatedly show three undeniable features: a front-facing reddish jet, several symmetric backward jets, and a nucleus that remains completely intact even after perihelion. Observers like Satoru Murata in New Mexico, Efra Morales in Puerto Rico, Rolando Lugusti, and NEOSat data all confirm no fragmentation. So, the familiar argument, "those jets come from breakups," collapses instantly. The object simply hasn't broken. The color behavior is even stranger. When brightness and saturation are adjusted, the jet facing inward highlights in reds and magentas, while the backward jets trend green and blue. This is not an artistic detail, it's a diagnostic one. Opposite directional jets are emitting different wavelengths. How would one natural body selectively choose different colors based on jet direction? For known comets, it doesn't make sense. And here's the part experts don't like to talk about. The mass flow needed to power these jets produces numbers that don't comfortably fit ice sublimation physics. To maintain multi-million kilometer jets in opposing directions at typical comet gas speeds, the mass output required would reach billions of tons over just a few weeks. To sublimate CO2 at that scale during perihelion, the energy requirement climbs into the 10 to the power of 16 to 10 to the power of 18 range, far too high for sunlight heating a nucleus this small. To absorb that much energy, Atlas would need a cross-sectional area thousands of square kilometers wide, vastly beyond the projected size from Hubble-level observations. Switch to water sublimation, and the energy demands explode even further. And still, the jets remain highly collimated, sharply directional, and stable over huge distances, unaffected by the object's measured rotation. That contradicts every expectation of randomly oriented outgassing pockets on a spinning comet. Given all this, three explanatory pathways remain logically on the table. 1. An exotic natural comet possible, but strained. Sure, extreme conditions in far-off systems may produce chemistry or porosity that creates narrow, color-selective jets. But any such explanation must handle both the energy deficit and the structural integrity, two requirements that currently push the limits of known physics. 2. A technological object bold, but scientific. Avi Loeb and others argue it's responsible to treat the data with open hypotheses. Directional thrust-like jets, unusual metal ratios, and non-gravitational accelerations all resemble engineered behavior. This is not claiming aliens. It's simply applying the same investigative standards we would use if we suspected a human-made artifact. Evidence first, conclusions later. 3. A plasmatic organism, radical but coherent. Another hypothesis suggests Atlas could be a plasma-based life form, a self-organizing structure interacting with electromagnetic fields, moving, radiating, altering its shape. Research on plasma behaviors in Earth's upper atmosphere and theoretical models describe self-illuminating cores and acceleration patterns uncannily similar to biological processes without carbon. This would redefine life, and our vocabulary. None of these explanations are free. Every hypothesis has costs. Real science doesn't dismiss them based on comfort. It tests them. If we want progress over dogma, here's what happens next. High-resolution imaging from spacecraft cameras or next-gen telescopes to tighten or eliminate hypotheses. Targeted spectrometry to verify metal ratios like nickel-rich, iron-poor compositions. Dynamic jet monitoring tracking jet orientation compared to rotation. Fixed jets would be a major clue. Sampling missions, if achievable, material samples would settle several debates instantly. Interdisciplinary collaboration. Plasma physics, astrobiology, aerospace engineering, planetary science. What this means for science and for the public is huge. There are two major risks: dismissing anomalies and missing something revolutionary, or sensationalizing prematurely. The right path is in between: curiosity without chaos, rigor without arrogance, transparency without fear. The public deserves clarity. Scientists hesitate to speak before certainty, but science requires uncertainty. Showing the process builds trust. Whether Atlas is an exotic comet, a technological artifact, or a plasmatic organism, the implications are enormous. Every scenario is transformative, so watch critically but not dismissively. The investigation is active, and the next data could flip everything. Our role is to stay curious, demand transparency, and keep an open mind. Which explanation speaks to you in this web of images, numbers, and reports? An exotic natural object? A technological design? Or something even stranger? Comment and share. Don't expect final answers today. Expect science to do what it does best: test, fail, revise, learn. I'll follow every update as it breaks. Stay tuned.